All of us are very happy to be in this panel discussion. I'm here with two distinguished guests, and of course, I would like to welcome all of those that are watching online as well. So we will be discussing about blue economy and sustainable tourism, and I would be happy to present to you our two guests. So I will start with a lady. So it's Ms. Kathleen Hagan. She's co-founder of the FHG Marine Engineering. And Mr. Athanasios Badekas, he's head of health department of Laguna Coast Foundation and president of the Hellenic Association of Orthopedic Surgery and Traumatology. And it's his name day today, so we must say happy name day.
Aw, happy name day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so before I go on with my questions, I would like both of you to be presenting a few points about your company. So I would like to start with you, Kathleen, and please tell us more about FHG Marine Engineering and what is the pioneering aspect of your company?
Thank you so much. Thank you to Greek House and Irene for having me today. So I'm the Chief Operating Officer for FHG Marine Engineering. So we are a company that's relatively young compared to a lot of Greek companies. We're only 6 years old, so kind of a new startup. But we are in the yacht and ship maintenance and repair industry. So we service a range of different vessels, including super yachts, commercial ships, cruise ships, and then the government sector, so the U.S. Coast Guard and Navy. Predominantly, we're focused on high and medium speed engines, so that includes Cat, MAN, Cummins, MAK, Wärtsilä. We also do a range of auxiliary systems, so oily water separators and wastewater treatment systems. So FHG is the U.S. distributor for Hamann, which is a German company. We're also excited to be announcing a new international partnership, hopefully at the end of this month in January, with a big bore engine manufacturer. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you. So we're experiencing a big transformative change in tourism, travel, and shipping. And this is why this panel is going to be very interesting. And then I would like to ask Mr. Badekas to tell us more about the new generation environmental non-profit Institute, Laguna Coast Foundation, which is based in the Laguna area of Naxos Island, a significant wildlife sanctuary in Greece.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk about this ambitious project. Actually, Laguna Coast Foundation is a non-profit research institute that is dedicated to the preservation and the protection of the Laguna wetland ecosystem. Although the subjects that we are talking are practically different, I made a remark in the previous panel. They were talking about road construction, and one of the panelists said that we invest in nature. We invest in nature also, and we try to combine nature with regenerative medicine capabilities that I will talk later on. We invented, actually, Antonis Spitaras, the CEO, invented a term, raw evolution. What this means, raw, what we're doing, we're taking raw materials, raw ingredients from the earth, from the sea, and also we're taking the gene map of our body and we're trying to do a raw evolution, a real evolution, a revolution. And I will talk about this later.
You will tell us more. Kathleen, FHG Marine Engineering is among many companies that are embracing the maritime industry's shift towards decarbonization, and it's trying to be part of the blue economy. Can you please give us some examples about that?
Sure. So I think it's really about, engaging in discussions like this. Our company is really involved in trying to help move the dial forward on this topic. So I think, a recent example is I was in October involved in an event called Ocean Exchange, which brought innovators and entrepreneurs from all over the world to South Florida to kind of compete in front of a panel and judges, investors, for $300,000 worth of grant prizes to help bring their ideas to market and bring it to scale. So that was something I was really proud to be a judge on that panel to award those prizes. FHG is also really involved in different research initiatives. So for the past few years, we've been working with a public-private partnership for a Mediterranean nation, on behalf of a Mediterranean nation, to research the green shipping routes, optimization, future fuels, and the green infrastructure that's going to be needed to help bring these changes about. So that's been a really exciting partnership that we're hoping to publish soon. And then the main thing really that we do a lot of is working, on the technical side, helping with the hybridization. So diesel-electric engines are becoming a lot more popular on super yachts and yachts. So it's kind of helping, in multiple facets, not just on the technical side, but, really engaging our community through forums like this to understand what's happening, what are the new changes coming, and so that way we can adapt and then prepare ourselves for the future of retrofits that we know are coming.
I will ask you later on about how long this transition might take, but first of all, I would like to ask Mr. Badekas. Laguna Coast Foundation, as we said before, is opening a new road to sustainable tourism, and you're introducing a new term, as you said, Roevolution, but that evolution is based, and that new kind of tourism is based on regenerative medicine. So tell us more about this innovative project by your team and why it can benefit Greece, why it can benefit our country.
It definitely can benefit Greece, like Davos was benefit in the late 90s. In the late 90s, Davos was a popular medical tourism destination, and we have to take it from there. Laguna Foundation actually now promotes a new model for regeneration. We try to unleash the power of regenerative medicine, which can be a game changer in health and wellness tourism. According to Thomas Insel, an American neuroscientist and director of the National Institute of Mental Health, he stated that the future of medicine lies in unlocking the body's incredible power to heal itself. So we have to take care of our body, which is the only place we have to live in, according to Jim Rohn. So regenerative medicine represents a new horizon in healthcare, offering unparalleled opportunities for healing and recovery, and the health tourism can benefit from them. So what we're doing in Laguna Coast Foundation, we implement vacations with self-improvement and regeneration in a land that has zero footprint, and in a land that is full of nature and full of culture and ancient history. Hippocrates was the first doctor on preventing the disease and not just treating it. And as we learn in our medical school, in all areas of medicine, he taught that the right kind of nutrition and the right exercise was the key to avoiding illness and also regaining health. Now we have the terms of precision nutrition, exercise medicine, which is back, let's say that we're going back to the future. Again, we reinvent the wheel, but in a more scientific way. So which is our vision? Our vision is to unleash the healing powers of nature. We can combine vacations and we can regenerate ourselves. We can map our needs and our goals, and what we're doing, we're using cutting-edge DNA health performance tests. And according to them, we tailor innovative, non-invasive treatments. And we are
actually... This is evolutional, actually.
Yes.
It hasn't happened before as part of a touristic experience.
Yes.
And sorry, since I interrupted you, we must say at this point that you can watch, and you're watching in the back, a new documentary that Laguna Coast Foundation created and is presenting now, today, to you. And it describes all this journey, actually, from how Laguna Coast Foundation started and what is the Laguna area. So enjoy this as well while we are speaking.
And if we go more to details, it's how we proceed this. Now we have 4 different types of DNA performance tests. We have the DNA athletic performance test, we have the DNA nutrition test, we have the DNA health management test, and we have the DNA anti-aging test. So according to these results, we can make tailor-made therapies, non-invasive therapies, according to what the body tells us. Let's have an example. If we do a DNA athletic performance test, we can detect for a person if he is predisposed to have, let's say, bone injuries or ligamentous injuries or tendon injuries. So we can tailor what we have to do for him not to have this kind of injuries. So we have a predisposition, but if we do the right treatment and the right exercise medicine, we can prevent this. Also, if someone wants to be, let's say, a performance athlete, we can detect if he is more capable to do endurance in the racetrack, or he is more capable to do speed, or he has more elasticity in his ligaments. Even now we detect a gene that can tell us the predisposition and the motivation for someone to be a championship. So if someone has this gene, he is more capable to be a champion.
And all this can be recognized by
Yes.
this DNA test?
With this DNA test, and then we can have, even with the anti-aging, if we go to anti-aging, we can do, let's say, creams and food supplements that is not for the disease, is for the person. So we can do personalized creams, personalized food supplements according to what the gene tells us, and not according to what disease do we have. And this is an evolution. It's the same thing that, let's say, all of us, we have a headache, and someone, the paracetamol has an effect, and someone doesn't have. It's because we have different genes. And it's the same thing that, let's say, when we're doing the health test, we can have a predisposition, let's say, for diabetes, for heart attack. But this predisposition can never be a disease if we take the right measurements. So we can combine vacations and we can rejuvenate ourselves. So our motto is choose what you want to improve. We can offer it to you in the most effective and natural way. And let's say in conclusion about this, the integration of regenerative medicine into healthcare practices has the potential not only to transform the way diseases and conditions are treated, but also to reshape the landscape of the medical, wellness, and congress tourism. This dual impact stems from the attractiveness of regenerative medicine topics when we're doing conferences and congresses, and also the differentiation of destinations with advanced regenerative capabilities, and the alignment with broader trends in health and wellness tourism. So you can choose Laguna Coast Foundation. It can combine breathtaking tourism location with culture, tradition, and with innovative, cutting-edge health and regeneration policies in a unique, with zero footprint environment.
That's the most important aspect of, one of the main aspects of this foundation. So I would like to turn to you, Kathleen, and I would like to say that as we know, ships carry almost 90% of traded goods and emit 3% of global CO2 of carbon dioxide. So the International Maritime Organization, this UN agency that is responsible for regulating shipping, they set out plans for the industry to reach net zero emissions by 2050. What are the challenges that green fuels face in shipping?
Sure.
I'm sure there are many,
Yeah.
and we understand it. Understand that in economy.
I'd say in terms of challenges for green fuels, future fuels, there is no real one future fuel that we've identified as the silver bullet to solve this issue of transitioning off of and weaning ourselves off of fossil fuels. So I think as we look to the future and we're discussing the various types of new green fuels, and that can be ammonia, hydrogen, LNG, there's a whole range of methanol. We need to think about what it means to adopt these kind of technologies. So I think the three main challenges I would identify would be the technology readiness, the community readiness, and then the investment readiness. So from the technology side, we want to be looking at like the spectrum from, is it really at that concept stage, or is it actually operational already in the market? So batteries, for example, would be high on operational in the market. We already see them in the marketplace. Whereas ammonia, it's still kind of in the concept design phase for a lot of that. We're not seeing that quite on commercial ships fully yet, and a full rollout may not be until 2060 for that. So technology is important, thinking about when is that actually going to be scalable and ready. The second one would be community readiness. So looking at the stakeholders, how engaged people are in this. Do we have the training personnel already to go of people trained on these new technologies? And then the third part of that would be, is the community behind it? Is there community engagement? So when you think about nuclear, for example, nuclear has been proven as a high power, mature technology, but the community public, the general public is not behind it. It's very politically taboo. So that poses a lot of regulatory issues for advancing nuclear as a future fuel. So I think you have to think about the community aspect, and then that ties in the third aspect, which is investment readiness. So are investors looking to invest in this kind of fuel? Is the government behind it? Is it at the theoretical proposition stage, or is it really at a stage that investors are going to see this as a bankable asset? So I think those would be the three main challenges. But I don't think they're hard to overcome. I mean, I think the maritime community is extremely positive about moving towards more eco-friendly solutions, and I think it's just going to be part of that trial and error process of different aspects of the industry are going to be trying different kinds of fuels, and I think we're going to just move forward together, basically.
Given what you're saying, I would like to ask what infrastructure advances are needed for this transition to alternative fuels, and how soon could we see a transition, actually?
So in terms of infrastructure, my expertise is more in the engine room and equipment on board. But from what I see in terms of shipping, that's going to be needed, the first thing is going to be scrap facilities. So as we, one of the things I've overheard is that in the coming years, the scrap market is going to double in the coming years as older ships are basically moved offline. A lot of them are going to be decommissioned, which is okay because these are less efficient ships. So, if you're an investor, you should definitely be looking at that as an opportunity for scrap facilities. The second thing I would say would be shore power. So if you're a port operator, you should be looking at getting shore power in your port so that the vessels can plug in and get on the grid, which lowers emissions. And I would also say having carbon capture facilities as well. So making sure that as vessels come into your port, they have those resources available to properly dispose of. And I would say, I'd say those are the main infrastructure things that would be needed.
Do your clients, or actually, can we have a percentage of those that are choosing a transition to alternative fuels, to green fuels, and from those that are staying at traditional?
Yeah. So I'd say that for the superyacht industry, it's a little bit different because the regulations aren't quite the same as applied to the commercial vessels. So it's more novelty, but there is an interest there, especially as more superyacht clients are millennials. There's a younger demographic, so I think they're very conscious of the environment. So that's still a kind of a newer phase, but we are seeing that quite a bit. I mean, a few years ago in Monaco, Moderator Aqua debuted, and it's a hydrogen vessel. It's the first of its kind to be a mega yacht, which is phenomenal. Sunreef just debuted in October a whole catamaran fleet called Soul that's solar paneled with electric power, which is very exciting. So I think it is moving that direction. We're also seeing, Disney Cruise Line, Carnival. I think Norwegian as well that are moving to methanol. They're going to have methanol fleets. Sorry? And the Danes. And the Danes, yes. And from commercial shipping side, Maersk is, also doing methanol, and Wärtsilä. So I think that we're seeing that gradual shift, definitely.
Thank you for that. So I would like to turn to Mr. Badekas, and I would like to say that your project and the Laguna area in general is attracting global interest, even Pope Francis.
Pope Francis, correct.
Who invited you at the Vatican to
Yes,
present.
this was an amazing experience, and Pope Francis actually embraces everything that has to do with environmental protection, and we are very glad and also surprised that attracted his attention and invited us to the Vatican to present the project. Yes.
I would like to ask, why do you believe that Greece is attractive as a destination for medical tourism?
Is attractive for many reasons. That someone, in order to travel, has to have not one but 2 or 3 reasons to travel. So Greece, and especially Naxos that we're talking about this project, can combine history, can combine the environment, can, especially in Laguna Coast Foundation, can also attract tourists that they have consciousness about the environment, because we try to preserve the wetland ecosystem. And also in this area, he can rejuvenate himself, and he can reshape everything that he wants to do, and in a most, let's say, individualized pattern. So we focus on the tourist, let's say, on the personality, and we try to improve what he wants according to what we found in the DNA mapping test. Also, he can enjoy, him and his family, a very nice environment, beautiful beaches, and also can enjoy in Laguna Coast and the art sphere and open art area, and also if he can participate in some races and some athletic activities that the Laguna Foundation is doing annually.
And before I'm always happy to take questions, so before I take some questions, I would like you, Kathleen, to tell us if Greece could be a potential market for your company.
Absolutely. I mean, Greece has the remarkable heritage of being one of the oldest and original maritime nations in the world, and has the beautiful beaches and islands and charming islands. So it's a ideal, top one, most desired destination for yachting. So definitely a lot of our clients, in the summertime enjoy being in the Mediterranean and throughout the springtime. So we would welcome any kind of business opportunities.
You're based in what area?
We're based in South Florida, but we're really a global company. We deploy all over the world for our clients. So whether you're in the Caribbean or anywhere throughout Europe, we're happy to serve the customer. So we can get to you if needed.
So any questions, please? I'm sure you have. We have presented 2 very nice projects, and sure.
Hello.
Hello.
So I've got a couple of questions. How do you want to expand your business, and what is your next step?
Sure. So we're excited that actually just this month, so last week, we just moved to a 25,000 square foot warehouse. So we are scaling very quickly. The business is only 6 years old. I started the company when I was 27. So we have grown really fast from being on 40-foot yachts to super yachts to commercial ships, and now we're on government vessels. So we're scaling very fast. So I think part of that is developing more international partnerships. So the distributorship I mentioned with the large bore engine manufacturer is going to be a big thing for us. Once we announce that in end of January, and then we're taking on more more domestic partnerships as well in the United States for filtration systems and things like that for engines. So I think sky's the limit. There is, for some of you that may be Americans in the room, there is definitely a technical shortage in our country. There's not a lot of skilled labor anymore with that technical professional level. So I think that we have a great opportunity to grow in the next few years. There's a huge demand, and we're going to try to meet that need. So thank you.
And please.
Another question, very quick. You mentioned an array of alternative fuels that are coming, hydrogen, ammonia,
Yes.
and so on. What would be your personal bet, or the bet of your company, of what will prevail, or where this direction will go?
I think methanol is looking very promising. I've been hearing in a lot of communities ammonia is very interesting to the maritime, but from what I see in terms of where the order book is going to be going, I think it's really going to be methanol. Hydrogen is also, I think, a really great topic in terms of, it doesn't have the residuals, because that's going to be the tricky part is, that chemical, solid and liquid waste. How are we going to deal with that? It's new. If you're moving with ammonia, it's very toxic, it's very corrosive. So we need to think about how are we going to be handling that kind of waste. But with methanol, I think there's different remedies. So I think my money is kind of on methanol. So we're keeping an eye on it. I mean, the great thing with our company is all of these future fuels are compatible with internal combustion engines. So we don't have to be using just diesel anymore. We can be using different kinds of fuels on this kind of systems and equipment. So it's really just, trial and error to see where the market goes, what people are interested in. But I think the core part of that is, do we have the facilities to support that? And that's where that technology is going to that's going to be a driver, I think. So thank you.
You wanted to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add something about another, let's say, another thing that in Laguna Coast Foundation we're doing. We have cooperation with flagship, let's say, companies like Amazon, and we're part of the Naxos Smart Island partnership that we have with Amazon, and in what we calling intelligent agriculture or precision agriculture. So we have precision medicine that we mentioned before, but with the cooperation with of the Amazon, the Naxos Smart Island project, we have also precision agriculture, and this can help us to go from the traditional cultivation to the digital cultivation. And this is something very important that now we implement management. We have management of the irrigation of the water, and we have more efficient use of plant protection products. We take one product, like let's say Naxos is very famous for the potatoes cultivation, but we can make potatoes and some other products. We chose 5 products with intelligent agriculture. We can make them better, and we can make it more productive any cultivation. So we give the community something that we can add on, not only to Laguna Coast Foundation, but also to the Naxos Island, and we carried this together with the Naxos Smart Island, with Amazon, and also with the plant production laboratory from University of Partax, and we're doing everything under their scientific guidance and supervision.
That's great. Thank you both. If you don't have more questions, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.